The story begins with people standing on the road, waiting for the bus. The bitter reality of the world is shown. No one is equal. Everyone has differences resulting from academic efforts or other factors. Some have high status and some have low. All humans are selfish, thinking only about themselves. The kind girl on the bus tells a young person sitting in a priority seat to give it up for an old lady standing, but he refuses. The girl asks others to give up their seats, but no one responds except one girl. The student Tokyo Metropolitan Advanced Nurturing High School was created by the Japanese government for young individuals who will support the country in the future. The school boasts high employment and is popular among colleges. A boy named Ayanokoji Kiyotaka is stopped by a girl who asks why he watched her on the bus. He replies awkwardly, mentioning it was because he thought she should give up her seat. She clarifies that she doesn't appreciate his assumption. After that, all the students go to a hall. In this hall, the student council president, Horikita Manabu, welcomes new students, emphasizing the importance of school and advising them to work hard. In class, student Hirata Yosuke introduced himself, and Ayanokoji Kiyotaka believed he would become the leader of the class one day. All the students applied his idea. However, Kushida Kikyo, who introduces herself and wishes to make friends with everyone, catches Ayanokoji Kiyotaka's attention. The homeroom teacher, Chabashira Asai, gives them the student rules book, explaining the special rules of the school. Students live in dorms, and their interaction with the outside world is limited. Hey, use points to buy things, with each student allotted 100,000 points per month. Every student is happy to get these points every month. Ayanokoji Kiyotaka wonders about the government's management of these points. He meets Horikita Suzune, who prefers buying cheap things. Ayanokoji Kiyotaka saw a conflict arise when another student fights with a senior. Kikyo talks to Ayanokoji Kiyotaka about friending Horikita Suzune, but unfortunately, she refuses. She asked him for help to make Horikita Suzune her friend. He agreed. After class, he requests Horikita Suzune to go to the mall with him, which is located in the cafe. In the mall, Horikita Suzune becomes aggressive when Kikyo approaches and asks her to make her friend. But Horikita Suzune rejects the idea, stating she prefers being alone. Ayanokoji Kiyotaka warns her that she might be alone for 3 years in this school, but she mentions being alone for 9 and dismisses it. The students spend their money on necessities, but Ayanokoji Kiyotaka wonders again about the monthly allowance. As time passes, students enjoy classes and spend their money. However, on May 1st, they realize they won't receive any yen. Worried, they ask their teachers, who scold them, explaining that their monthly points are based on merit. The teacher assigns the students to lose 1 million points and reminds them not to question how they received their monthly allowances. The teacher mentioned that in this month all the students have to live on their left points. The student was worried because all the students used most of their points. The students must live without money this month, raising questions about their future. Now, how will the student be able to live without money this month? During free time at swim class, students enjoyed playing with water. The girls dropped water on each other and laughed. Ayanokoji Kiyotaka sat alone and thought about failing to make friends. Horikita Suzune came toward him, and they were both surprised to see how all the students were free, even though they had no money. They seemed to distract themselves by enjoying the swim class. As he sat there, he thought about how to elevate his Class D to Class C because, in doing so, they would each receive 100 personal points. In his mind, he went back to when the teacher in the class spoke about their last performance, calling them the worst kind of defectives. He stood up in the class and asked the teacher to explain how points are lost and gained. However, the teacher refused to provide details of their performance evaluation. The teacher informed them they would be demoted to Class C and warned that anyone failing in midterms or finals would be immediately expelled. He believed the class needed to change its habitat, study hard, and improve its marks in mid-exams. He urged the class to be serious about the midterms since they had no points. One student got angry and walked away. During lunchtime, Ayanokoji Kiyotaka moved to Horikita Suzune, who offered him a delicious and expensive lunch and talked about the upcoming test. She mentioned a student study group that helped to prepare for the test, but unfortunately, 3 students, Sudo, Yamauchi, and Ike, refused to join. She didn't want anyone to fail. She wanted Ayanokoji to bring these 3 students to the study group. Reluctantly, he agreed, unable to refuse after receiving a luxurious lunch from her. She gave him her phone number and email address for any problems. He is happy because he has a girl's phone number for the first time in high school. At night, he decided to make a dorm's internal phone call to Kushida Kikyo for help in getting students to join the study group. Kushida Kikyo picked up his phone, but he heard some strange kind of noise and asked about it. She apologized to him for the bad noise because she used the hairdryer just after the bath. He told her about the study group. He mentions to her that Horikita Suzun led the group and she could easily get the students to come because of her friendly nature with class. Kushida Kikyo agreed to join, giving Ayanokoji her number to assist him. All the students studied in the library, except for Sudo and his two friends, who disliked the study group. Sudo told Horikita Suzun that he was good at basketball and considered a future in it instead of studying. He suggested he join the club to play basketball and move out with his friends. Horikita Suzun told Sudo if he failed, she would never feel bad for him. Sudo moved out of the library. Disliking her behavior, Kushida Kikyo told Horikita to change her attitude and promised to study hard for her future. At night, Ayanokoji Kiyotaka went to buy something for himself and saw Horikita Suzun with someone. Initially thinking it was her brother, he later discovered the person was the student council president. The president insulted her, calling her a loser who was in class D and suggesting she leave the school. Defending her, Ayanokoji stopped the president from slapping her, leading to a fight where Ayanokoji was slapped by the president. During the altercation, the president revealed his achievements in piano and calligraphy and expressed surprise at his sister making friends. However, she clarified that he was just a classmate. Before the test, students did as they pleased, some studying and some playing. The test happens. The test results were unbelievable, with all students scoring high marks in grammar, math, chemistry, civics, English, and other subjects. Fortunately, all the students passed. Every student thanks Kushida Kikyo because, due to her, they all passed the exam, and they think she is an angel. Ayanokoji Kiyotaka thinks about the past when, before the exam, a boy named Ryuan from another class asks Sudo to join Kushida Kikyo's study group. When he refuses, they beat and frighten him, but at the same time, a girl named Ichino stops them from fighting and warns that she can call security. They ignore the fight and move out. Ayanokoji Kiyotaka also asks Sudo to join the group, but he refuses and moves toward the club. At night, Horikita Suzun gives Sudo a notebook with the main points noted in class to help him study. 2 days before the exam, Ayanokoji and Kushida go to an upperclassman and make a deal with him to obtain the first midterm questions, which come out every 2 years. They offer him 10,000 points, and the upperclassman says he made 30,000 points, but Kushida negotiates, and the deal settles at 15,000 points. In the park, they discuss it and believe they did the right thing as obtaining all the questions is legal within the school rules. They decide to give these questions to their classmates one day before the exam, so they study hard to memorize them. Kushida gives the questions to the class because they have become friends with her and trust her. One day before the exam, Kushida gives all the students the question papers. All the students thank her for this kind act. On the result day, the teacher appreciated their effort, but suddenly she told students Sudo and Ken failed the exam by 40 points. The teacher asks Sudo to go to expulsion, and the class asks the teacher not to do this, but she insists that rules are rules. Ayanokoji Kiyotaka goes to meet the teacher in the hall and asks if there is equality in Japanese society. The teacher replies that there is no equality, and Ayanokoji proposes to sell his points to pass Sudo's English test. He mentions that on their first day teacher told them they could buy anything with points. The teacher agrees, asking for 10,000 points. He is shocked about the teacher's behavior and thinks it is too many points. But at the same, Horikita Suzun comes and agrees to give 10,000 points to her. They sit on a branch in a park and compare their points with Class A points, realizing they may never reach Class A level points. Ayanokoji thanks her for helping Sudo. She picks up a compass from her bag, expressing her dislike for his attitude and asking him to regret suffering or despair. At night, all the students gather for a party in a room where Kushida Kikyo asks Ayanokoji Kiyotaka what he did to save Sudo from expulsion. He replies that Horikita Suzun talked with the school, explaining that they cannot expel someone without an explanation only because they got a failure score. Everyone thanks her, but she reveals she did it just for herself. After that, Kushida Kikyo asks Ayanokoji Kiyotaka if he likes Horikita Suzun because they seem together, and everyone in the class talks about it. He replies that they are just friends, neighbors, and classmates. After that, she moves out, and he sees Kushida Kikyo's cell phone left behind. He goes to an upper floor to return it but sees her move alone on a road, expressing negative feelings about Horikita Suzun. She notices something and asks who is there. He come and ask what she did. When she comes to know Ayanokoji Kiyotaka knows her negative feelings for Horikita Suzun, she tries to frighten him so that she tells everyone he tried to assault her, putting his hand on her chest and making fingerprints as proof. He closes his eyes and thinks about her innocence. He agrees not to tell anyone anything but feels uneasy about it. Please subscribe to our channel for the latest updates.